How the pandemic created the quiet luxury boom when the world stopped in 2020, something unexpected happened in the corridors of wealth. The loudest symbols of luxury suddenly fell silent, and in their place emerged a new philosophy where a $10,000 cashmere sweater without a logo became more desirable than a handbag covered in monograms. This transformation, born from lockdowns and global uncertainty, created the quiet luxury movement, a seismic shift that redefined what it means to display wealth in the 21st century. The pandemic forced even the wealthiest individuals into isolation. Zoom calls replaced boardroom meetings, private jets sat grounded, and suddenly the audience for conspicuous consumption disappeared overnight. Billionaires and executives found themselves working from home in comfortable clothes, and the realization struck that true luxury might not need external validation when your only companions are family members who already know your net worth. Wearing a belt with a prominent designer logo loses its social currency. The fashion industry watched in real time as consumer behavior underwent a dramatic metamorphosis. Sales of logo-heavy accessories from brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Versace dropped significantly during the first year of the pandemic, while discreet luxury brands such as Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, and the Rose saw their revenues climb despite global economic uncertainty. These brands had always existed in the upper echelons of fashion, but they operated quietly, known only to those already initiated into the world of ultra-premium goods. Loro Piana, an Italian brand founded in 1824, specializes in the world's finest fibers, vicuna from the Andes Mountains, baby cashmere from Mongolia, and lotus flower silk from Myanmar. A simple Loro Piana sweater can cost $3,000, yet it carries no visible branding, no logos, no hardware, just impeccable craftsmanship and materials so luxurious they speak for themselves. During the pandemic, the brand's sales increased by double digits, while many mainstream luxury houses struggled. If you want to explore more transformations in the luxury world and discover the secrets behind premium brands, subscribe to Lux Eternal and activate the notification bell to join our community of elegance enthusiasts. The psychology behind this shift reveals fascinating insights into how crisis reshapes value perception. Conspicuous consumption, the term coined by economist Thorstein Veblen in 1889, describes the practice of purchasing goods to publicly display wealth and social status. For over a century, this remained the dominant mode of luxury expression, from Gilded Age mansions to modern designer handbags festooned with recognizable patterns. The pandemic disrupted this social signaling mechanism by removing the audience. Instagram posts of luxury goods felt tone-deaf when millions faced unemployment and uncertainty. High-profile displays of wealth attracted criticism rather than admiration, and wealthy consumers began seeking ways to enjoy luxury without the associated guilt or judgment. Quiet luxury provided the perfect solution, allowing affluent individuals to maintain their lifestyle while appearing more egalitarian. A $4,000 white t-shirt from Brunello Cucinelli looks virtually identical to a $40 version to the untrained eye. But the wearer knows the difference. They feel the superior cotton weight, appreciate the perfect drape, and understand the Italian craftsmanship involved. This movement accelerated trends that had been slowly developing before the pandemic. Minimalism in design had been gaining traction, championed by brands like Jill Sander and Celine under Phoebe Philo's creative direction. The rise of tech billionaires in Silicon Valley, who favored unmarked black t-shirts and simple jeans, had already begun challenging traditional luxury aesthetics. Mark Zuckerberg's uniform of grey t-shirts and Steve Jobs' black turtlenecks represented a different kind of power dressing, one that signaled intellectual rather than material wealth. The pandemic simply accelerated what was already beginning, transforming quiet luxury from a niche preference into a dominant cultural force. Heritage brands with centuries of history suddenly became more relevant than ever. Hermes, which had always maintained a balance between recognizable products and understated elegance, saw its stock price reach all-time highs during the pandemic years. The brand's silk scarves, leather goods without prominent logos, and ready-to-wear clothing embodied the quiet luxury aesthetic perfectly. Brunello Cucinelli, often called the King of Cashmere, became the philosopher prince of this movement. The Italian designer built his company on principles of humanistic capitalism, paying workers above market wages and maintaining production exclusively in his medieval hometown of Solomeo. His clothing features neutral colors, impeccable tailoring, and price tags that can exceed $15,000 for a single suit, all without a single visible logo. During the pandemic, Cucinelli's personal wealth increased by over $1 billion as demand for his aesthetic exploded. The entertainment industry played a crucial role in popularizing quiet luxury to broader audiences. The HBO series Succession, which premiered in 2018 but gained massive viewership during pandemic lockdowns, showcased this aesthetic brilliantly. Costume designer Michelle Matland dressed the Roy family in Loro Piana baseball caps, Brunello Cucinelli knitwear, and the Row minimalist pieces, creating a visual language of wealth that felt authentic to how actual billionaires dress. Viewers became obsessed with identifying the characters' wardrobes, and fashion publications published articles dissecting the cost of individual outfits. Kendall Roy's simple navy sweater might cost $4,000. His understated sneakers another $800, yet nothing screamed luxury, everything whispered it. The show demonstrated that true power does not need announcement. It commands attention through confidence and quality, rather than logos and flash. The Row, founded by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen in 2006, represents the American interpretation of quiet luxury. The brand's aesthetic is so minimal it borders on austere, with collections featuring mostly black, white, navy, and beige in simple silhouettes. A Row handbag might cost $6,000 despite looking deceptively simple. And this paradox of paying extreme prices for apparent simplicity became the hallmark of the movement. The secondary market for quiet, luxury pieces developed differently than traditional luxury resale. Items from Loro Piana or Brunello Cucinelli do not depreciate as rapidly as logo-heavy pieces because their value lies in intrinsic quality rather than brand recognition. Vintage Hermes pieces without prominent logos maintain or increase in value, while some logo-heavy bags from the 2000s now feel dated and sell at significant discounts. Material innovation became central to quiet luxury's appeal during the pandemic. Consumers stuck at home began prioritizing comfort and quality over appearance, and this created demand for technical fabrics and exceptional natural fibers. Loro Piana developed treatments for cashmere that made it machine washable, created waterproof wall fabrics, and pioneered storm systems that combined luxury with functionality. These innovations commanded premium prices because they solved real problems rather than simply displaying status. The athleisure trend that dominated pandemic fashion also influenced quiet luxury's evolution. Brands like Lululemon, while not traditionally considered luxury, demonstrated that consumers would pay premium prices for superior performance and comfort. This opened space for luxury brands to create elevated versions of casual wear. Cashmere sweatpants costing $2,000, silk jersey t-shirts priced at $500, and leather sneakers reaching $1,000. While psychology experts noted that the pandemic created what they called stealth wealth anxiety. Affluent individuals worried that displaying luxury too openly might make them targets for resentment, theft, or criticism in an economically polarized society. Quiet luxury allowed them to enjoy their wealth while maintaining a lower profile, wearing expensive clothes that only other wealthy people would recognize. The movement also reflected generational shifts in luxury consumption. Millennials and Gen Z consumers, who came of age during the 2008 financial crisis and then faced pandemic uncertainty, developed different relationships with luxury than previous generations. They valued experiences over objects, authenticity over status, and sustainability over novelty. Quiet luxury brands, with their emphasis on timeless design, exceptional quality, and low environmental impact through longevity, aligned perfectly with these values. Social media's role in this transformation proved paradoxical. While platforms like Instagram initially drove logo-heavy luxury consumption, they eventually enabled the quiet luxury aesthetic to flourish. Fashion influencers began showcasing capsule wardrobes of investment pieces, emphasizing cost per wear rather than constant newness. The hashtag Quiet Luxury accumulated millions of posts as users shared their minimal, high-quality wardrobes. Investment dressing became the rational framework for quiet luxury's premium prices. A $3,000 Loro Piana coat worn for 10 years costs $300 per year, making it arguably more economical than purchasing cheaper alternatives annually. This mathematics appealed to wealthy consumers seeking to justify their spending through logic rather than pure desire. The architecture and hospitality industries reflected similar shifts toward understated luxury. Boutique hotels abandoned ornate decoration in favor of natural materials, neutral palettes, and exceptional comfort. The Aman resort chain, with properties charging $1,000 per night or more, exemplified this aesthetic with minimalist design that emphasized space, light, and natural beauty over gilded excess. Jewelry also underwent quiet transformation. Statement pieces with large precious stones gave way to delicate designs in precious metals, often without gemstones entirely. Brands like Sophie Bile Brahe created 18-karat gold earrings so minimal they were nearly invisible, yet cost thousands of dollars, embodying the less is more philosophy perfectly. The automobile industry saw similar trends, with luxury car buyers increasingly choosing models with subtle exteriors over flashy sports cars. Range Rover and Mercedes G-Wagon models in matte colors with minimal badging became the preferred choices, while bright Ferraris and Lamborghinis felt gauche and attention-seeking. As the world emerged from lockdowns, the quiet luxury movement did not fade. It solidified into the new standard for aspirational consumption. The pandemic had permanently altered how wealth expresses itself, creating a paradigm where true luxury whispers rather than shouts, where quality trumps quantity, and where knowledge replaces recognition as the ultimate status symbol. This transformation represents more than fashion trends. It reflects a fundamental rethinking of value, status, and what it means to live well in an interconnected world where discretion has become the ultimate luxury and the most exclusive club is the one with no sign on the door.